So now I've done a few more rows by knitting one row, then turning the work over, purling one row, turning the work over, knitting one row, turning the work over, purling one row, and so on and so forth. So okay, we have this little patch here, which looks on the right hand side like this, and on the left hand side, well, you see, here is pure purl and here is purl with stitches. If I stretch it out, you will see the difference here. So it's significantly more spelled out here. And once you're comfortable with the knit stitch and the purl stitch, you can create patterns. Like rib stitch is 2 knit stitches, 2 purls, 2 knit stitches, 2 purls, but first you need to practice so that you are comfortable with either one. Okay, so let's say this patch was my goal. So how do I get it off the needles? And the trick is this. Again, the first stitch comes over as is. I like to do the casting off row on the right hand side, but that's personal preference, or you know, depending on if you do it by pattern, depending on what the pattern says. However, first stitch comes off as is. We knit the second stitch, we pull it over. Now there are 2 stitches on the right needle. What we have to do is we have to create one out of these 2 stitches, and for that we take the rightmost stitch and pull it over the other one and then let it go. So we are left with just 1 stitch. So again, we knit 1 stitch. Whoops. Let's go back on the left needle where you belong right now. So we knit 1 stitch. Again, we have 2 stitches on the right needle. We take the rightmost stitch and we pull it over the stitch in front of it and we let go. So now we have just 1 stitch on the right needle. Again, knit 1, 2 left, pull the rightmost stitch over the other one, and you have just 1 stitch. Knit 1, and pull the rightmost one over the one that you just knitted. Knit 1, and pull the rightmost over the one that you just knitted. And here you will have this finished edge. Knit 1, pull over, knit 1, pull over, knit 1, pull over. Well, sorry for the sound effects, but I'm knitting on a desk, so not actually a natural knitting position. But I don't have a GoPro, so bear with me, please. Knit 1, pull over, knit one, pull over, knit one, pull over, knit one, pull over, knit last one, pull over, and now we have just one last final loop left. So how do we deal with this? Well, normal people have scissors nearby, but I don't, so there we go. Oops, nearly unraveled. Well, I will need to do the last one again. Knit one, pull over, so you have just one loop left, and now you take the tail end, you pull it through the loop, and then you pull it closed. And here is the cast off edge, looking quite neat.